Welcome to the Pro AVL Central Weekly Roundup. Incredibly, this week marks 1 full year since the original lockdowns in most countries were introduced, and what a year it hasn't been. However, with a flurry of new appointments announced this week, it seems companies are increasingly shifting their focus to the future as certain sectors and markets approach some sense of normality again. In the Middle East, ex-ProLight veteran Paul Hadfield has joined the Area 4 Industries Middle East sales team in Dubai. Creative Technologies Middle East has made 2 additions to its newly created Venue Services department in the form of Dalo Rodriguez as Venue Operations Manager and Mark Johnson as Business Development Manager for the new department. In South Africa, distributor Stage Audio Works has welcomed Lee Thompson to the newly created role of Project Sales Manager, with Mike Summerfield taking on the post of Distribution Sales Manager, while Wilder Marr bids farewell to Jeff Isaacs, who is retiring after serving the company for a whopping 43 years. At the other end of the supply chain, video wall manufacturer Row Visual has announced a new role for founder Jason Liu that will see him step away from the day-to-day running of the company to play a wider role within the Unilumen group. German audio specialist Panacoustics has appointed a new head of global sales, Johannes Kampert, who will take on responsibility for all worldwide sales activity of the company's expanding sales network. Chris Lennon has joined Ross Video in the newly created role of Director of Standards Strategy, where he will manage the company's activities involving global standards and trade bodies. And finally, today we say so long, but not goodbye, to Pablo Espinosa, who has been part of the Mearsound family for 24 years. Pablo is stepping down from his role as Vice President and Chief Loudspeaker Designer to dedicate his creative passion to independent projects. Earlier in the week, the Focusrite Group made a cryptic announcement signalling the creation of Optimal Audio, the group's 7th brand, and one created from scratch to build new commercial audio solutions. While not much is currently known about what the brand will offer, a special online launch event is being hosted on 20th of April to properly introduce the new company and its solutions to the market. The highlight in terms of project news this week was undoubtedly the announcement that Barco has provided the projection technology for a new immersive art centre in Dubai. Infinity de Lumiere, which is located inside Dubai Mall and set to open its doors later this year, will host a collection of digital immersive shows focusing on the masterpieces of a number of popular artists. The exhibits, which include 3,300 square metres of screen surface across the walls and floors, are brought to life by more than 130 of the manufacturer's projectors. Stay tuned for a future issue of Pro AVL MEA, where a look at the various technologies powering this incredible exhibit will be explored in more detail. Some interesting research in the UK this week has highlighted the growth of consumption in digital audio during the lockdown period. Unsurprising perhaps, despite the fact that the majority of such content is typically consumed while commuting. The pandemic changed the game. But interestingly, another article published by Forbes discusses the new phenomenon of social audio, which it turns out is set to surpass the consumption of traditional content like podcasts imminently. Some have even gone so far as to say that social audio may be the future of social networking. It's an interesting shift for something that's always played second fiddle to the visual domain. Here, that's audio strength, as content can still be passively consumed while we go about our increasingly hectic lives. And to finish off the week, we know slightly more now about the format that ISE's 4 live regional shows in June will take. There'll be a limit of 50 exhibiting companies at each of the 2-day outings, accompanied by a series of presentation and networking opportunities. For many, the allure of the first face-to-face business meetings in months will provide enough of an attraction to attend. But for the more wary, it's not an obvious decision. There are still so many unknowns about the new format, such as will there be dedicated demo rooms, which are always a big pull for loudspeaker manufacturers. So it'll be interesting to see which companies sign up over the coming weeks. That's all for this time. We'll see you next week.